Hi there, it's Sandy Freshie back with another video. We have been exploring the emotional solar plexus in the human design chart. If you are new to this series, I do have a whole playlist on it, so you can go ahead and click the link in the description box. It should be there by the time this video gets there, and you can catch up on what we've been talking about. So today we're actually going to explore emotional authority, the way that you're designed to make decisions when you have a defined emotional solar plexus. So just by way of review, remember that this brown triangle, this colored in triangle on the right side of your body graph when you're looking at it, is the emotional solar plexus, and when it's colored in, it's defined. If you have a defined emotional solar plexus, that is the way that you are designed to make decisions. You have an inner authority that is known as an emotional authority, meaning that you ride in a sea of emotions and you need to ride that wave, that cycle, so that you can get clear about how you feel about something before you actually take action on it. Now, authority and your strategy work hand in hand. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the mechanics of how strategy and authority work together for you to get clarity, for you to make the correct decisions that eliminate unnecessary resistance and stress so that you can move through your natural trajectory in life. So we're going to go type by type. We're going to talk a little bit about strategy, and then we're going to tie that to your emotional authority. And I've got charts here for all of the types, and forgive me if I'm kind of rifling through them. And I will try to make it simple and keep it quick because we do have 4 types that we want to go through. All right, so let's talk first about the emotional manifestor. Now here's a chart of an emotional manifestor. And you know that this person is a manifestor because they don't have a defined sacral center, and they have the emotional solar plexus defined that goes straight to the throat, that's connected to the throat via a channel. So all of that motorized energy gets to the throat so that the manifestor can initiate action. Manifestors are told that they don't have to wait for anybody. They can just do it. And the strategy, if you're a manifestor, for doing that in a way that creates ease and so that you can avoid people getting angry at you, is for you to inform those people before you take that action. Now, when you are emotionally defined, you have to wait until you're emotionally clear before you inform those people and take that action. So see how that works? So there's something that drives that. First of all, you're going to have that desire that you want to take an action or you want to initiate something or someone, and that desire is what is kind of coloring your emotions. And as you move through the ups and downs of your cycle, you may realize that maybe you were in a down mood or you were in an up mood, and that's really where you don't want to be making your decisions. You want to let time reveal to you information about how you feel, how you truly feel about taking this action before you actually do it. So that's why you need to wait. And then you can just go for it after that. So the generators, here's a generator chart, have a defined sacral center. So the strategy for a generator is to wait to respond, and that sacral center responds by those types of guttural sounds. An emotional generator has the emotional solar plexus defined, and it doesn't matter what other motors are defined, as if they don't connect to the throat. This is a generator. This is generator chart. So emotional generators, you know that the thing that sort of drives your decision making or opens the door for you to know that you need to wait before you make a decision is that your sacral will have a response. So it's the response that kind of drives it. You attract something into your aura, someone into your aura, your sacral kind of, your motor gets going, you're going, but you may be in an up mood or a down mood. So you have to kind of wait and see if you're still getting those uh-huhs or those uh-uhs all the way through that cycle before you make a decision. Now, I just want to show you this before we go to manifesting generators, because here's a generator who actually has a spleen defined. And there's the emotional solar plexus, there's the spleen. And even though this generator has the spleen defined, which is another potential decision-making authority, the emotions are still stronger than the spleen. So the emotional authority, the emotions trump the knowing in the spleen. So this person still has to rely on clarity through a full emotional cycle or a wave before they make a decision. So I just wanted to point that out before we move to manifesting generators. Manifesting generators, you have the sacral center defined, and you have a motor, either the sacral, the root, the emotional solar plexus, or the will center, that is connected to the throat via a channel. So this particular manifesting generator has the emotional solar plexus connected to the throat. So manifesting generators, you also respond like the generators. You're attracting people and things into your auric field, and your sacral will respond. It usually responds much quicker than so you need to get grounded and understand how your sacral responds so that you know you're responding. And sometimes even then your energy moves so quickly that you don't quite know if you responded, and then you kind of jump into things and maybe discover that they don't work, and you jump out. And that's sort of your process to find the shortcuts and eventually the shortest possible path to get something done quickly. So when you have an emotional authority, you do need to wait. Even if you're feeling impatient, even if you are wanting to get it done, let's just hop over this step and let's get it done. You need to wait too, because you could be high on your wave, you could be low on your wave, you could be in a bad mood or a good mood when you get that response, and you don't know fully how you feel about it until you wait through that whole cycle. So again, it's the same kind of thing. And even though you've waited, let's add this little thing for you manifesting generators. Even though you've waited, sometimes you still jump in and you discover that maybe you skipped a step and you got to jump back out. And it's just your process. And then you sort of evaluate, and then you reprocess. And just like the manifestor, you inform before you take that action. But it all comes from that clarity of how you feel about it over time, how you feel about what you're responding to over time. Okay, so projectors. Here we are with projectors, you guys. I appreciate the person who did the timestamp for the projectors on the last one. I will try to remember to timestamp these by type so that you don't have to listen to all of them. But projectors, I put you last on these videos because you're here for other people. And most of you who have settled into your study of human design are always curious about what the other energy types in your life have going on and how you can possibly guide them. So that's why I kind of put them first, and then here you are. We're finishing with your energy types. So projectors, you have an undefined sacral center, and you have no motors that connect to the throat. And see on this chart, this person, and if you're an emotional projector, you will have the emotional solar plexus defined like this person, but it won't be connected to the throat via a channel. Projectors, you know, or you may know, if you don't know, I'm going to let you know that you have a strategy to wait for an invitation. And then if you're emotional, that invitation, it's not like you can act on that invitation in the moment, or you know in the moment whether or not it's a correct invitation. You need to wait through the ups and downs of your emotional cycle to get the more information revealed, to come to a place of balance where you feel a good, solid feeling about whether or not this is correct for you. I hope all of you, regardless of your energy type, get the gist of how this strategy and authority work together. You have your strategy where you're either waiting, or manifestors, you get that desire to take an action, and generators, you're waiting to respond to something, and projectors, you're waiting for that invitation. And then that's when your authority kicks into gear, or that's when you need to pay attention to your emotional authority. Now, there's one other thing I want to mention, because I get this question a lot, and it's the question of, well, how long do I wait? How long do I have to wait for an emotional cycle? And we talk about in general how it's good to track the ups and downs of your emotions to kind of figure out how long you need to wait. But some of you have different types of channels that are defining your emotional center. And those different types of channels, depending on which circuitry they're in, actually have different types of waves. So this is really a complicated kind of a thing to tease out in a short YouTube video. And I know that we've been talking a lot about the emotional center, and I put out a feeler back in December that a lot of you responded to about interest in a workshop. So I'm going to go ahead with putting that together, and I'm going to offer it in March. I will have a link down below when I have the details ready, so that you can check it out and see if this is something that you're interested in. Because you really do at some point want to kind of get clear about how your emotional wave can work, or how it does work, so that you know how long you need to wait and what that experience is like. So I'll be talking a little bit more about that. I'll put the link down below when I do get the description done. We're shooting for March on this, but here's the thing. If you watch my video on how I am shifting my business, you know that I'm a splenic projector. If you watch some of my other videos, you know that I'm building a house. My husband and I are building a house. Our moving date is somewhere around March or April. We're not sure yet. So I will nail down the date when I have adequate interest to move forward. So this workshop is going to be partially videos that are going to be a little bit more polished than what we do here, and definitely packed full of more information that you can use. And then the live portion will kind of be up to you guys in terms of, actually up to you guys and up to me, because I'm not quite sure how that's going to work in March, but I know I want to set some time aside for enough people who are interested to make at least one live meeting where we can all get together and you can get your questions answered. Don't know exactly when that's going to be, and I'm actually not going to promise until we actually get enough people who are interested, who are really ready to invest and move forward with being present at this particular gathering. Give me time to put that together. I know that's a little nebulous, but I just wanted to put it out there that it is still in the works for you to come and learn about your emotional solar plexus, and especially your emotional authority. And for those of you who are emotionally undefined, probably projectors, because you're interested in what's going on with other energy types and other authorities, there will be something for you as well. It's just that this piece is important for not only the defined emotional solar plexus people to understand, but it's also important if you're undefined to understand how the emotional solar plexus works, because you are deeply, deeply affected by the emotional people around you. So I'll put the details together. Be on the lookout for that. I will definitely mention it more than once, and I am going to move forward with it when I get enough official sign-ups for us to actually do it. So make sure if you have any questions about what we talked about or the workshop, you can post them in the comments, and I'll be sure to take those into consideration and to answer your questions. So be well, have a great week. I'll talk to you really soon.